finally got one headlight open. Let me go over the parts. Got that little metallic flake to it. Justice. Yo, what's good, my peoples? It's IllRoller16 bringing you guys another video. Today we're going to be working on the white all-motor MX-3 project. As you've probably seen in the title, we're going to be doing an HID retrofit. What that means is we're going to open up the headlights and we're going to fit them with upgraded parts for HIDs. And we're gonna upgrade some of the pieces, make not only the lights perform better, but also look better. I'm gonna do some before and after shots of the lights, of how they actually look and also how they perform. So right now I got the halogen projectors, which you can see here. Let me turn the camera around. So these are the halogen projectors. Got these Spyder projector headlights, which are really like the only headlights that they make. I did do an HID retrofit on this car here with the OEM, but this was years ago. That's with the OEM headlight housings. But on this one, I really like the way the black looks. I don't think chrome would fit this one, and I'm trying to make them different. So I'm gonna keep them black, but I'm gonna add some chrome accents. We're gonna make them look real nice, and hopefully everything seals up real nice and everything, but just gonna go for it. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get these headlights out, and then we're gonna go inside the studio, and then we'll go over all the parts needed for the retrofit. And yeah, I'm gonna try and make this as step-by-step as possible, but again, it's just me running this, so without further ado, let's go. Alright guys, so we got one headlight out, which is that one right there. Only took about 5 minutes. So there's 3 bolts. There's a 10mm right there, 10mm there, then a 10mm under there that you take out the signal to get to. And then we're gonna take out this one over here, and I'll have this camera on me so you guys can see it a little better. So yeah, let's go. So I'm just gonna use a swivel. It should be able to get in there. All right, here, let me give you guys a good shot of the third bolt. You can kind of see it. There's the third bolt right there. Two. Headlights are out. Took about 20 minutes to take them out. And here are the headlights. Pardon the mess in the garage. But here we go. We're gonna throw these in the oven. Again, these are the Spyder projector headlights. You can find these on eBay or Amazon. I'm probably gonna order another set. It's always good to have spare MX-3 parts. Trust me, you want spare MX-3 parts. Here's a little sneak peek. Here's the motor. Just so you guys don't think I'm bullshitting you. There's a motor that's going in there. Sooner or later, hopefully more sooner than later, but I'll talk about that in a separate video. So yeah, let's go throw these in the oven, and let's go look at the parts that are going in here. So let's go. We are about to throw these in the oven, 200 degrees for about 7 to 10 minutes, and we'll see how the glue is doing. And yeah, I'm gonna use gloves from here forward. We want to make sure that that we preserve the plastic. Lenses have a special coating on them, so as soon as we get them off, we're going to plastic wrap them and saran wrap, and really take care of the lenses. That's one of the most important things in this whole headlight piece. The last thing you want is to seal everything up and have dirty lenses. So all right, so first headlights getting ready to go in. I didn't realize it, but you actually have to remove everything out the back, all the brackets, everything, before you throw it in the oven. But we're gonna preheat the 250, and yeah, let's go. All right, let me try and get these apart, and then I'll be back. All right, my people, so we finally got one headlight open, and then the first thing I did was I saran wrapped this lens immediately. You don't want to touch anything on the inside. You want everything protected immediately. So that's very important, like I told you guys earlier. And then rest of the stuff, we got headlight housings and then the covers. This is where we're gonna be replacing the projector, and then on this here is where we're gonna be mounting the halos. So what I'm gonna do, since this was such a pain in the ass, the first one was ridiculous. Took me, I'm just gonna say, a minute to open up those headlights. I'm gonna put the second ones in at 300 degrees, and I'm gonna do 10 to 15 minutes to soften up that glue. So yeah, let's go to the next light. There we go. All right, here we go. So with this really small screwdriver, where's your camera at? We are getting in all these grooves and loosening up this glue, and then we're gonna try and pry open from a corner.
5 hours later.
All right, guys, it is hours later, and this is where I'm at. So I'm gonna put it in the oven, 300 degrees, with something wedged in between here. This glue is something out of this world. You want to keep your secrets, you throw them inside these motherfucking headlights, because they do not want to come apart. But yeah, I'm gonna try and get this one open before the end of the night. So yeah, let's go. All right, finally, second headlight is done and open. So now I saran wrap the lens, and yeah, this is insane sealant. We'll clean it all up and make sure everything's nice before we put it back together with the new sealant. But yeah, that's it. We'll continue tomorrow. Good night, my people.
Yo, what's good, my peoples? It's day 2 of the HID retrofit process. As I said last night, that sealant that they use was ridiculous. Normally, you know, it takes me 15 minutes, 30 minutes to open headlights, both of them. And these took me 2 hours a piece to do it carefully, do it right without breaking anything. 2 hours a piece, so 4 hours total, guys. I'm just trying to be transparent with you guys so you guys know what you're getting involved in if you decide to do it. Not all headlights are this, but the MX-3 ones, the aftermarket, sealed shut. I think the key to these is doing it with high heat. Normal melting point for the glues on headlights is about 200 250, no more than 300. But these were crazy, and of course, it is what it is. But either way, the headlights are open, like I showed you guys last night. We're gonna go into the studio, and I'm gonna show you all the parts, and we're gonna get started on this and see if we can get it done today. So hopefully we don't run into any more issues, but if we do, I'll let you know. So let's go. I know it looks a little bit overwhelming, but pretty simple stuff. Let me go over all the parts that I have. So first thing, and the most important thing, is the upgraded projectors. In the past, you know, previous years, you would use projectors from another car, like a S2000 or a TSX or a Mercedes E55, etc., and you would retrofit those projectors into your, you know, your headlights. But now there's a company called Morimoto. They make they mass produce quality projectors for a decent price without having to actually use the OEM stuff. So you can actually use the OEM stuff, but this stuff is just as good. So yeah, so we got the projector. So as I open the stuff, I'll move it out the way. So this is, normally HID projectors are what's called D2S bulbs. H1 is also popular. It's a little smaller, so that's why I got it. And they make a kit that fits into these headlight housings. So that's why I got the Morimoto Mini H1 7.0s. They have the 8.0s now, but I was okay with just doing the 7.0s. So those are the projectors. They come with all the hardware. So 2 projectors right here. Move some of the stuff out the way. Here are the mounting brackets. So these mounting brackets mount onto here, onto the stock headlight to mount the projector in there. So it's kind of like a plug and play kit. I've got my ballasts. These are HID ballasts. Same thing, company Morimoto, keep it simple. And again, I bought everything from a company called Sparksmith. They're out of North Carolina. I always try and, you know, support, you know, smaller businesses. I usually would have bought this stuff at Retrofit Source, which is a good place as well. But I got a better deal at Sparksmith. So I'm all about helping, you know, another small business and them helping me back. So here we go. These are the ballasts. These are the igniters that plug into the ballasts. So these plug in from there. So these plug into the ballasts, and this goes directly to the projector and the bulb. And then this goes to your stock harness. Here are the bulbs. So these are the bulbs that go inside the projectors, and these are the bulb holders. Again, same thing from Morimoto. And then the thing I want to upgrade here is these halos on the Spyder projectors are pretty weak. They're decent, but they're pretty weak. So I went ahead and bought the profile pivot halos. These are 70 and 80 millimeter, and I think they might be too small. So we're about to find out. I'm gonna try and make them work. But these, I don't like the way these look. I mean, they light up great, but I don't like the way they look, just that plain milky white. But these are to replace these halos. Instead of having one LED down at the bottom, this has multiple side mounted LEDs. So that's the halo. And then to, again, for me, I care a lot about the aesthetics about the headlights. So I want it to look OEM. OEM always looks like jewelry. So I bought these halo covers. So that way it covers that milky white finish and gives it that jewelry look, kind of like this. You see how that looks like jewelry? Same thing with this. That's the way headlights are supposed to look, OEM. So, so yeah, we're gonna do that. So I got 4 halos. Got the harness. This harness plugs into the stock harness. It's plug and play. You plug it in where your old headlights are, and it plugs into your ballast, and it's good to go to the battery, and that's it. Really, really simple. And let's see what else we got. That's well, the most important thing here. So I'm gonna try and enhance the way these look. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to, let me show you what I got here. So these are shrouds. I told you guys I wanted to add some chrome, and I'm gonna add these chrome shrouds. So these are the mini Gatling gun shrouds. So these go over, the projector goes inside here, bolts up and everything. But I think this is really gonna make this pop, adding some chrome in there. So hopefully you guys can see. I'm gonna have to make a couple cuts and modifications, and make this work. But yeah, I think that'll really make it pop. And then the halo on top. And that's it for the retrofit. Some people, you know, you can go really intense on this stuff. Some people do RGB, where you can change the lighting, you know, if you got a show car or if you're into that look. I'm into really clean OEM, slightly modified look, nothing too crazy. So you know, I just did, you know, switchback halos, which are white and then amber, but you can do RGB, where it changes all different colors with Bluetooth controllers. You could do sequential lighting, you can do all different kinds of stuff, guys. But again, I'm gonna keep it simple, get this done. Here are the headlights opened. We're gonna remove all the sealant. We're gonna use new sealant. Actually, I have the new sealant. Hold on, let me show you guys. You're gonna need this too. So this is the sealant. I have some left over from previous retrofits. Very tacky stuff. This is the butyl sealant, and that's what we're gonna be using to seal up the headlights. So we're gonna scrape all that old sealant off, which was a nightmare, and we're going to use a new sealant, and that way we can reopen these headlights if we ever want to modify them again. We don't run into the same issues. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get started on cutting and modifying and on this retrofit, and see if we can get my car back on the road with the new headlights. The bracket goes like this, and then you can trim it as needed depending on what projector you're using. This bracket, like I said, is for they don't have the Morimoto brackets anymore, so this has to be customized to work with the Morimoto bracket, but it fits perfectly in there. So what we're gonna do is, it goes on top of the bowl, but underneath the cutoff shield. So I'm gonna use a cutoff shield to make a template. I have to cut a notch down here at the bottom for the bi-xenon mechanism, and I have to drill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mini holes to match this, to match these holes to mount the projector. So let's go let's go in the garage. Let's make the cuts and the drill with the Dremel tool, and that'll be it. So let's go. Cut off that little corner. See if we're flush. Oh, but it's covering the top holes now. So this cut is not enough. So the main thing is these 4 holes cannot be covered up, because these are the mounting bolts to the housing. We got to move the bracket down, because right now as it sits, we're covering the top holes. So we need to move the bracket down. So we need to cut further down. So we're going to cut some more meat. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we're gonna drill the holes. We're done dremmeling to my knowledge. All right, so now we're gonna Dremel. Now we're done dremmeling, so now we're going to drill. This one will work. Yeah, this one will work. So now that we got our mounting solution ready, we got to get ready to customize and make room for the shroud and the angel eyes. So these are the old angel eyes. I am going to undo those. There are 2 screws in the back, so let's do that now. And then the second halo. And we are out. So the low beam, which is on the right side, the low beam is a little over 3 1/4, a little under 3 1/2, in between 3 1/4 and 3 1/2 outer diameter, and 3 inches inner diameter for the low beam. Okay. Now for the high beam, which is the larger one, this one is a little over 3 1/2 outer diameter. Yeah, about 3 inches inner diameter, but the outer diameter is bigger. Either way, the halos I ordered are not big enough. This is the biggest one I have. This is the 80 millimeter. And even if I were to put it on here, even with the cover, the screws show a little bit. So I don't want to wait, return the old halos and wait for new ones. So what I'm thinking about doing is combining these here. So using this just as a mounting point. And then kind of like a 3-layer right there. For the low beam, no big deal. If you're gonna just replace the halo, then yeah, you want to get 80 or 90 millimeters for this. I would say 90, but since I'm doing a shroud, I'm gonna cut all this out here, and then the shroud will pop out through, and I'll probably have to do some trimming, but yep, that's it. Here we go, point of no return. We are cutting. And then now we're gonna mount the, sorry, I'm holding the camera with one hand. We're gonna mount this on here. So we're gonna find the smallest drill bit I can find. We're gonna drill a couple holes, well, 3 holes. You can see these have the mounting tabs. It has the 3 mounting tabs on there. We're gonna use those to mount there. We'll make a little notch for the wire. And yeah, and then we'll test the halos, and that's it. There it is, there's one. There's 2. One, 2, 3. Got to cut the notch for the wire, which is going to go right around here. I cut 1 notch right there for the wire, and so yeah, so now we're going to use the some tin wire, real thin wire, which is where's it at? This right here. on a wire. This little thin to go through the holes here and mount everything. So let's do that. New piece of wire. So then you put it through. Make the U-turn. One side goes inside the main hole where the projector goes, and the other side goes in the hole that you drilled. So hopefully you guys can see here. Makes the U-turn, and then on the back side with some needle nose, you can grab and twist. So we'll grab some needle nose, and then we'll hit it with some solder on the back side if you want to make sure it doesn't move. But yep, that's what I'm doing, and I'm going to mount the halos now, guys. Trying to show you guys as much info as possible. This thing ain't going nowhere. You can grab it from the halo, and it ain't going nowhere. So I'm gonna go work on the high beam things, or the high beam halos. Let me show you. This is the stock halo. Pulls apart. So you pull this cover. That's where the inconsistent lighting is. And now you have the halos, which is just an acrylic. You could just literally pull this out. I think it's super glued in there. One LED with an acrylic piece. That's what comes stock on the Mx3 halos and a lot of aftermarket halos. The high beam, this is what we're gonna do. So because this one has the mount, is I'm gonna use the old halo. I took the LED off. So what we're gonna do is the following. I'm gonna notch the bottom here for the wire. I'm gonna mount the 3 here, just like if it were a shroud. I'm gonna mount the 3 with tin wire. We're gonna secure it in solder. And then this is gonna go on top. So it's gonna be dual layer acrylic, kind of like what you could see here. And then this screws in and it's secured. So I'll show you guys when it's done. And yep, just gonna cut the slit here at the bottom where it's already thin. All right, that's it. That's the notch. Let's see. All right, so that's good enough. We cut the slit, and now we can drill our holes in the plastic. Sandpaper. That's it. Yoshi, get inside. Get inside. Let me hit it with the light. There we go, final assembly. It literally looks like Tony Stark's power supply in his chest. There's a switchback. Let's go ahead and do the passenger side, and then we can aim them and throw them on the car.
Let's go ahead and seal this off. So we're working our way around.
So we're ready for install. Here's everything sealed up.
Driver's side, passenger side.
If I turn off the lights, pitch black.